What's up, everybody? Welcome to the SATS Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. It's been a long day, so I'm a little bit late. I'm waiting for my soundboard to populate with the next show, with the show sounds. So, welcome. This show is about learning the basics about Bitcoin. It's about getting the idea across for you to get a little bit of interest in it and start to look into it. And you'll soon realize that it's a great way to preserve your wealth against the dollar that's continuing to inflate every single day. As the dollar inflates, your purchasing power goes down. But if you remove that value out of the dollar system and put it into the Bitcoin system, your wealth is preserved relative to the dollar. Just like a house continues to go up in value, it's not that the house is getting any better. It's that the dollar is getting weaker, so you need more weaker dollars to buy that same property. Okay? Bitcoin is like a digital property. You have the same shirt? That's right. Captain Dan, let's go. Anyway, that's the premise of the show. And here on the show, we actually buy Bitcoin Monday through Friday. McLovin in the house. What's up? Let's go. What up, McLovin? It's awesome to see you here. I'm super happy. McLovin is awesome. I met him through watching Simply Bitcoin, a different show, and got inspired and motivated to do my own show in a way that, because most Bitcoiners at this point that are in Bitcoin and understand Bitcoin, we can be a little rough, right? We can be a little toxic, I guess is a phrase. But my goal here is to introduce new people that don't have any experience with Bitcoin, just to like a soft pitch, right? Like just for you to understand that it even exists, and that it could be beneficial for you to research it and study it. Okay. So that's the premise we're going with here, McLovin. Love to have you in here. This is fantastic. Okay, cool. So that's the beginning of that's the basic premise of the show, and what we do here is we measure the value of Bitcoin in terms of how many fractions of a Bitcoin can you buy for $1 today in the SATS Strength segment. We bring up this graphic here. Self-taught, no lessons. So, today, for a single dollar, you can buy 3,432 Satoshis. Not a bad deal. Okay? If you find yourself walking down the street, minding your own business, you look down, you see a penny, pick it up, and all the day you'll have 34.32 Satoshis. Look at this graphic. Remember this graphic, because in the future, when you look back, you're going to say, damn, I could buy 34 sats for a penny. And now that Bitcoin's $1 million, 1 penny is equal to 1 sat. It's crazy. It can happen quickly, right? That said, this is not financial advice. This is just a guy who loves Bitcoin, who loves the idea of Bitcoin and what it offers humanity. And I don't want you to miss out. But don't buy anything because I tell you to. Don't buy anything because I think it's a good idea. If you think it might be a good idea, spend a little time studying Bitcoin, right? Watch podcasts, read books, have a whole list of recommended content. If you're brand new to Bitcoin and have no clue what it's about, basic principles, right? Buy on a Bitcoin only exchange. Take your Bitcoin off the exchange into self-custody. Take that self-custody wallet, and maybe instead of being a warm wallet or a hot wallet, make it a cold wallet. So it's a hardware wallet, right? And you can start with something as small as $10, right? You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Just like the dollar can be separated into 100 cents, a Bitcoin is separated or can be split up into 100 million Satoshis. So just like that, you don't need to buy a whole coin, buy a couple bucks, understand the technology, what it does for you, how it works. And next thing you know, you'll start to realize that it's a better investment to buy Bitcoin than it is than any other option you might think you have. Okay. So with that, yeah, exactly, McLovin. That's a great expression. Get off of zero. Okay. Get off of zero just to start experimenting with it, start to understand it. But you know what? I probably ranted too soon. This would have been perfect for the Why We Stack segment. Let's go. Okay. So in motivational music, making the hype, right? The understanding that I'm trying to convey to you guys is that your wealth divided by infinity is going to end up equaling zero, right? So if you think about the current financial system, right? They can print as much money as they want, and it doesn't cost them anything but the paper and ink is printed on, right? That's easy money, right? Easy money makes things very difficult makes the money difficult to retain value, because the more units of it you have, the less each unit is worth. It's like, I used this example before. It's like buying a bottle of wine and you need more wine because you have more guests. And instead of just cracking open another bottle, you put water in that wine to make more of it. Does that make the wine as potent? No, you lose potency as you dilute it, right? So the government is doing that with our money every single day. And so that's why the title of today's episode is Money for Nothing, but Not for You, right? Because you have to work for every single dollar that you earn while they can print whenever they want, okay? That is a common, example that one of the hosts, Nico, on the Simply Bitcoin channel uses all the time. He has an expression that's like something like, why do we have to work for the money that somebody else can just print? Which is like encapsulates the whole concept very well. It's a perfect statement. You know. Anyway, that said, you don't have to do anything crazy to get out of that system. It's really easy. All you got to do is start stacking sats, and like McLovin said, get off of zero. Okay, that's it. That's we'll call that the Why We Stack segment. Done. Let's go. Leonard stacked. Oh. Thanks for doing that, guys. When you guys hit like, you can type in stacked into the chat, and that way I know you liked it. Thanks, guys. Okay. The next segment of the show. And we go pretty quick, McLovin. This show's pretty quick. It's just a little inspiration, a little motivation, a little tidbit, a little bit of knowledge about Bitcoin, and a real life example of me stacking sats for the show. The way we do it on the show here is we have a spreadsheet that I share every episode, and we call this Stack Recap. There it is. So today, we're currently holding 1,838,244 sats. Okay, we have 0.018 Bitcoin basically. Okay. We've spent so far $527.17, and that Bitcoin is worth $535.63. We're up 1.61%, but that doesn't matter. This number, and this number doesn't matter. What matters is that this number goes up, and like McLovin said, that you get off of zero. Okay? Stack your sats, get off of zero. You move those satoshis to your hardware wallet, to your self custody wallet, and you're guaranteeing your preservation of that wealth. Okay, so today is the 2nd, 23. All right. With that, after that recap, let's go with the actual purchasing of today's SATS. McLovin, the rule here for us is normally if the price of Bitcoin drops below our average buy price, we'll buy $15 worth. If it's above, like it is today, then we'll just buy $10 worth. Okay, we're using Swan Bitcoin. Love this exchange. Oh, awesome, McLovin. Notifications are working. Let's go. Okay, so let's see. Let's go jump into the actual process of actually stack some sats. Let's go. All right, here's our account for the show. Ooh, we're gonna buy $10 worth of Bitcoin on Swan Bitcoin. I'll preview this buy and make my notes. So, get my little screenshot going for my records. All right, preview the buy. Show you guys what I'm actually doing. Okay, I'm on Swan Bitcoin. I made the $10 is what I'm gonna buy. It's gonna cost me 10 cents to buy $10 worth of Bitcoin. Cut the music. Drum roll, please. There it is. We've stacked. And just like that, turn on the chill music. Because that's exactly how I feel when I stack. Relaxed. Knowing that that little bit of value is outside the grasp of inflation. And now, if you have any questions, throw in the chat. Oh no, let's do the update. Let's update our chart. Well, feel free to ask questions while I'm doing this. I can watch the chat. Exactly. McLovin's got a great point. He said 144 per Bitcoin right now, still on sale. I feel like it's all a matter of perspective, right? So let's update this thing and I'll talk about perspective as I'm doing it. If you think that Bitcoin will eventually go to a million plus, then you're buying Bitcoin at 0.029 million, right? Once it gets to 1 million, it's like crazy. I feel like we're so early too. 29. The actual price that I got it at was 29,230. I think it's because of there's a little bit of a delay between the different exchanges, but I'm okay with it. It averages out over time. Like sometimes when the price of Bitcoin is really high, on its way up, you can still get it cheaper on Swan. And when it's coming down, pay a little bit more, but it averages out, right? The point here is to be consistent. The point here is not to wait for the price to go up or down. The point is to get on your schedule, whatever schedule you choose, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly, and just stack your sats, you know? Stack your sats. And there you go. So the yield for today is 34,211 Satoshis. Not bad. Just gonna color code this real quick to make it easier to see. There it is. So with that, let's check our holdings. We're getting close to 2 million sats, guys. Getting close to 2 million sats. What was it happen? Greg Foss calculated it was way under value. Oh yeah. Dude, it's so crazy. Yeah, there's so much good content out there about Bitcoin. And it's just a shame that the general public correlates anything to do with Bitcoin with anything to do with other cryptos, right? So then you have like the stigma of people like trying to rug other people for like with their poop coins, and then you end up giving Bitcoin like a bad rap, because it is, and even though it's a different thing, right? Like, just real quick, if you guys don't understand this piece, like, Bitcoin was the first of its kind. It was made in a way that the creator or creators don't have control over the code of it anymore. It's like it's truly a gift to like humanity, right? Or like you have other people that go and copy the code because it is open source. They can make a copy of a Bitcoin, start their own Bitcoin network, and call it something else, right? And when they do that, they'll continue to retain access to change the code, to what they call fork the code, right? So every time they change the code, either so for example, if I sell you a coin that is with the idea that, hey, there's a certain amount, and you can make your decision as to how much that coin is worth based on the market cap, based on the supply of those coins, right? So we have kind of like an agreement. Then once you buy the coin, if that creator of that coin goes and creates more of those coins and dilutes them, right, inflates it, then in essence he's violated the contract with you and stole some of the wealth that you invested in that coin, right? So if you think of it in those terms, the US government, the dollar, is like the ultimate poop coin, because they're increasing the supply every day. So they're constantly, in the world of crypto, it's called rugging. It's like when they do that to you, when they increase the supply, or like kind of like take your money basically. And the dollar is doing that constantly. So it's like the constant rug. I've never had a bad time. It's never had a bad time to buy. Even if you buy it on the top, you still at least break even when you DCA because it performs as well. Yeah, exactly. We talked about this, like, I think last week, McLovin, where like, I think Dell over at Simply Bitcoin put out one of his videos, and they were talking about, no, it was a Twitter post. It was a Twitter post talking about how if you had started DCAing at the top, like at 67, wherever the top was, if you had started DCAing that day, by now you'd be in the green, like as of like a month ago, right? If you would have picked your DCA frequency and your DCA amount, and you would have started DCAing from the top and rode it all the way down to 15 and a half, and then continued DCA consistently, by now you would already be, as of like a month ago or 2 months ago, you would already be in the green. So we started the show, I think it was a little bit after 15.5, about 2-3 months ago. We're on episode 43 now. So we've made at least 50 purchases on the show, I think. We made 62 purchases, or something like that, 50 on the show. And so even though we're not super in the green, we're off of zero. So we're holding Bitcoin. And again, you guys can all see how easy it is to do. It takes me, what, like two or 3 minutes to actually do the purchase, right? And I do it manually, right? You guys can set it up where it does it for you, like where it automates it for you, right? And then on top of that, you can also automate the withdrawal to your hardware wallet. So that's key. That's key. At this point, if you guys have any questions, do put it in the chat. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to tell you I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to go research the heck out of it. I'm going to get smarter because of it. And then I'll come back here tomorrow and tell you about it. What I found. It's going to make us both help us both better understand Bitcoin. And if there's any issues that could come up from that, then at least we'll all learn together, right? So that's it. That's what I do. We stack Bitcoin. Are we early? I think we're super early, dude. I think we're super early. There's all of the excitement over like the BlackRock ETF and stuff. I kind of get a little bit caught up in the hype of that. And part of me is like, heck yeah, let's go. Like, let them buy as much as they can, and pump the price, right? And then part of me is kind of like, oh, do I have enough Bitcoin yet? You know, Like, can you ever have enough Bitcoin? And if the price goes crazy, I'm still going to continue to DCA, but I'm going to get a lot less SATS per my $10, right? So I kind of don't want it to go crazy yet. I want more people to discover it first. I want more people to have the opportunity to learn about it and have enough time to understand how it works and that it's a good investment. Did I miss it? Yeah, Captain Dan, you missed the DCA. Don't worry, it's all good. We DCA'd. We got $10. We spent 10 cents doing it, and we got 34,211 SATS today. And here's our new total. We're getting close to 2 million SATS, 0.02 Bitcoin for the show. And like I said, the whole point of showing this, guys, and being super transparent here is that I want you guys to see and understand how easy it is to just skip something random that you probably don't even need in your life and stack some SATs instead. Look around you. Are there things in your house that you haven't used for months that are just taking up space, right? Taking up free rent in your residence, right? Sell that stuff, right? Sell that stuff because in the end, those are Satoshi sitting there. Those are Satoshi sitting there in your garage, just waiting to be converted to SATs. And if things go well, the value that those things are holding converted to SATs will be a lot more beneficial than it sitting in your garage. When Bitcoin pumps like crazy, you're gonna look at that stuff in your garage and be like, dang it, I should have sold that stuff when I had the chance. Because now the stuff in your garage, stuff around you that you don't need, that you don't use, that you spent money on, it's still worth something. It's still usable, right? But you're beyond that, or you changed hobbies or whatever. Sell that stuff, buy SATs, and it's as if, and pretend it's still sitting in your garage. Pretend that money's still sitting in your garage, right? And then next thing you know, you look over and your bag is getting bigger, and Bitcoin pumps, and boom, you can buy some of that stuff back if you really need it, and you would have made some money. Anyway, the point is to keep growing your bag, and the proof will be in. You'll see it. You'll see it happen. I mean, until the government stops printing money and changes that policy, right? There's no plans for that, right? Like, do you think somebody's gonna get elected and all of a sudden they're gonna say, you know what? We're gonna stop raising the debt ceiling. We're gonna stop spending money we don't have. They're gonna keep printing that because they have access to the printer that can print infinite money, and they're gonna keep expanding the money supply, right? Because that's the only way they can cover the costs of the debt, right? If you have a huge debt like the US Gov does, the only way to pay back that debt is by inflating the money and paying back with cheaper dollars down the road. Okay, so cheaper dollars helps them pay the debt, but it steals from you. Let's see. I'm calling Jay Powell. This is getting ridiculous. Nice. Exactly, dude. That's so funny. Awesome. Cool. So that's Stack Sats show for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm so happy to have McLovin in here, Captain Dan, Carl Black in the house. Leonard, what up, boys? Let's go. That's awesome. That's so funny. Yeah, it's cool. Like I like to see the cross mingling of audiences, and then eventually you get these guys watching Simply Bitcoin and just going full Bitcoin maxi. That's awesome. I had a conversation with a couple of classmates today after jiu-jitsu. The gym or the dojo, whatever you want to call it, gets super hot, right? Because it's kind of hot right now. And after class, I just kind of like went outside and sat on the curb and just like in the shade and let the outside air kind of cool me down, right? And on my water can, on my Hydro Flask, I have a sticker that says Bitcoin is freedom, right? And so I have it there as a conversation starter. So since I was out there, they saw my sticker, started asking questions, and sure enough, that they had the same kind of like pre-baked notions of like, oh yeah, Bitcoin is like it's like money that criminals use, right? And I don't blame them, because like the general media like puts that idea out, you know? And so like I have 2 more people that I'm kind of working on now. Today I kind of broke through that initial barrier of like, oh no, that's like not good. It's not good for you. It's like, don't invest in that, right? And then like I was like, hey, well, why is it not good? Kind of like let him kind of explain why he thought it wasn't good. Then I kind of gave him some pointers, and then I walked away or whatever, and then I saw him like checking on his phone. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So we'll see how that goes. The orange pill process, or like helping people understand Bitcoin, is a long process, and I'm happy that you guys have given me the opportunity to try to explain that to you guys, because in doing so, not only am I understanding it better, but I can figure out ways to better understand it myself. And honestly, guys, I think this is a life-changing technology, and not only just our individual lives, but our society. Okay, so with that, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We stack sats at 8:15 Pacific Standard Time. You guys have a great night, and don't smoke because it's bad for your health. And what was the other one? Dang it, I'm missing it. Don't smoke because it's bad for your health, and saving in dollars is bad for your wealth. Oh my gosh. What up, Carl?